Spo, up 3-0. When you tell your team to send a message to them when you have a 3-0 series lead, what is that message as far as trying to close things out right in Game 4?
Well, we haven't done it yet with this group, and so we know that's our next challenge. Game 3s are tough. When you're up 2 and you go into an opponent building, we are bracing ourselves for the type of intensity and urgency we saw last night. That's why it was a gratifying win for our guys, because we knew how tough it is to get those games. Now we have an unusual 2 days off between Game 4, so we're going to graze today and tomorrow brace ourselves and get our mindset right for closing this out. And we know that these are now a different challenge, and so we have to stay on top of it, and hopefully we'll be able to do it.
You mentioned those days off. How have you kind of worked on giving guys days off, deciding what days they do practice, don't, and how has that been a challenge to juggle for you throughout the season and now in the playoffs?
It's all different. It just depends, but we've gotten to know this group very well. And so we have an older veteran group that's been around each other now for 3 years. Our team has a great ability to focus and dial in, but when you're 2 days out, it's far removed. You don't want to grit your teeth and brace this early. That time will be tomorrow. So today it's about getting the guys' bodies right. A lot of treatment. It's a physical game yesterday. Guys need to spend a lot of time trying to get healthy, and tomorrow we'll get after it.
Finally, what does it say about your team? In Game 1, you had LeBron have a big game, Birdman off bench. Game 2, you had Cole and Birdman. Then obviously last night you had Ray Allen. That you have those weapons at your disposal that if one guy's off, another guy just comes off and steps in.
We talk about it constantly. Is the sacrifice. It's the biggest word in our camp, and it seems like an easy, basic concept, but it's not. If it were easy, more teams, more players, more veteran players would be willing to do it. We have a lot of resumes of guys that have proven themselves over the years, but they wanted to sign up for something hopefully special. It's a luxury that we don't take for granted to be able to have different guys have an impact. But the tougher part is the sacrifice and not getting the normal amount of minutes or opportunities that they normally have gotten, but to sacrifice for this team and have an impact in a different way.
And the Heat do take a 2-game-to-none lead.
All right, Coach, you guys have the best record in the NBA. Home court advantage throughout the playoffs. You set the franchise record for wins in one season, and you're a potential Coach of the Year candidate. Pretty good to be Coach Spoelstra right now, huh?
Well, you know what? I don't take it for granted. There are a lot of people that coach this team. I know there's probably also some that could mess it up. I don't want to be part of that group.
Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra is nowhere near that group. His team picked up right where they left off last year, winning 66 games in a regular season, one filled with a ton of memories.
Wade, he's got LeBron there, off the glass, and down the way.
You know, once in a lifetime regular season experience, obviously to be able to meet the president, to go to the White House. None of us really have an opportunity to do that ever.
Just a few days after the team's trip to D.C., the Heat beat the Toronto Raptors, the first game of their epic 27-game streak.
And if you could just look back on the streak, what that was like for you, coaching through that, all the close calls, all the big wins, what those moments were.
It was harrowing, but what you liked about it was coming off of the success last year, that our guys brought the growth mindset that we talked about the first day of training camp, that we would use this regular season for a reason, not to live off last year's success, but to try to get better, try to improve.
And with that, the team worked hard every night. They also played pretty hard too.
At any point, did they try to get you into the Harlem Shake video?
No, they don't want me in there. That's a player's thing, and you know, looking back on it, it is pretty funny. Things like the Harlem Shake, you can see how much personality they have. It's a very engaging locker room that we have. But from my perspective, the most important thing is when it's time to go to work, like practice today, they'll come and bring it.
And after setting a franchise record for wins, it's fair to say they brought it.
And as a team, would you say that you're about as confident as you've ever been heading into a postseason run here?
I don't know. You know, the last couple of years, we have a very confident group. But I'll tell you what, even with the success we've had this year, it's an unknowable future. It's a special, memorable regular season that we'll all remember. You can throw that out the window right now. It's gone. None of that will help us other than the home court, and even that doesn't guarantee you anything.
Red